have learned about the physical world, what all basically is included in the physical world, right? Now is the last part where we try to take in account some questions to understand how exactly this physical world can be related to the questions. So please stay tuned for understanding more about the questions related to this part of the physical world. So we move on to the next part, that is the past year papers, past year questions to be precise. Let's go to the first question. Which diagram correctly shows the addition of vectors P and Q? When you add it up, supposing if we use the triangle law that we have discussed, so let's say we have this is our vector Q and we have this being our vector P. So let's move this vector P here. So if we move the vector P out here, in this case the resultant is going to start from the tail of the Q to the tip of the vector P. Okay, so this is going to be the resultant vector R. So which one of it shows the correct one? So the option A shows the correct one. Fine. Moving on to the next one. A student doing an experiment needs to measure the internal diameter of a beaker as accurately as possible. If you remember, we had seen that vernier caliper it has inner gauges, right? Using measuring tape is not going to be possible. Using a screw gauge is not going to be possible. The screw gauge measures the thickness. You can only measure it using the vernier caliper using the inner gauges. So the answer goes for it as this. Okay. The figure shows a part of a vernier scale. What is the reading on the vernier scale? Let's try to understand it. What is the reading that is coinciding? You can see that the coinciding division is just exactly this, right? This is the one that is coinciding. Apart from this, is there any other division that is coinciding? No, right? So since there is no other division that is coinciding, so what exactly is going to be the value? The value is going to be given by 5 centimeters. Hopefully you would have enjoyed listening to whatever we have discussed in the module. Now, if you still feel that there are any particular doubts that you have, so please visit our site www.askIITians.com. In this, go to the discussion board. Here, you can find all the topics relevant to your questions. You can post your doubts in these relevant topics. And how exactly you are going to do it? Go to the right hand side corner of your screen. As you can see, you can select the category. The categories are defined here. You can select your category, type down your question. You can use your mathematical symbols as well. Else, if you have the question in the form of an image, you can attach the image, post it. We can assure you that the questions would be moderated and answered between 24 to 48 hours after you post it. So keep posting and happy posting. Thank you. So in this last part, what did we understand? We understood about the different applications of the questions, how exactly the questions can be framed to understand about the different consequences of the physical world. Hopefully you understood about that. So broadly speaking, what all did we understand? We understood the basic definition of the physical world, how do we quantify it and qualify it, and then we moved over to the different physical application or physical phenomena. We differentiated it into the base part and the derived part of the quantities. Then we identified about the different types of quantities, physical quantities to be precise. That is, a scalar quantity and a vector quantity. Now once we have defined about a scalar and a vector, we also need to understand about the operations on the vectors. So we understood about that. Then we moved over and tried to identify what are the different types of errors that can creep in. So we understood about the random error and the systematic error. Then we tried to also identify about how exactly we can calculate the errors and the tolerance level. Hopefully you understood about this. Stay tuned for more lectures. Thank you.